All right, you guys, I'm back. I'm new to this, so y'all be patient with me. But I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody's being smart. I hope everybody's staying safe. And most importantly, I hope everybody is on code. So let's go ahead and let's get into what I'm here for. Because I'm not here for all this other stuff that's going on. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here for us talking about some serious stuff. So let's get into this serious stuff we need to be talking about. Okay, now the first thing that we're going to get into and we're going to talk about is this right here. They finally made one arrest, just one arrest in this situation with a young black man, the young autistic teen that was assaulted and brutally attacked on the subway in NYC. Okay, so this is coming from Fox 5, and we got some issues with this, but I'm gonna read the article to you. Arrest made in brutal attack of teen with autism on NYC subway platform. This is Kelly Hayes, Fox 5, NewYork.com, published March 15, 2023. A 14-year-old is facing several charges, including assault and aggravated harassment in connection to the brutal attack of another teenager with autism on a New York City subway platform, authorities said. The incident, reported on March 10th inside the West 181 Street and Washington Avenue subway station in Washington Heights, was captured on graphic video. A teenage male, 14, was arrested in connection to the attack and charged with aggravated harassment, assault, harassment, and menacing, police said on Wednesday. So our question is, where are the hate crime charges? We need hate crime charges added to this. So where are the hate crime charges? Okay? And why is it that they've only found one? You got the pictures of them. It can't be that hard. They have to go to school somewhere. It can't be that hard to find them. Authorities did not provide further details about the arrest. According to investigators, the male victim was approached by the three individuals, pulled from a northbound A train onto the platform, and called anti-black slurs. Yeah, that somebody was hollering nigga, 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 of alert or whatever. The disturbing video shows the group taking turns punching and kicking the teen repeatedly, while onlookers recorded the attack on their phones. No one is seen intervening in the video. And as a matter of fact, I think I've already done a live on this. But last night I recorded a video talking about this and talking about the other topic in this live. And it's kind of bad that all these black people were standing. There were other black people standing around recording and all of that, and nobody stepped in, nobody intervened for this young man. So what's up, New Yorkers? What's up? You see somebody, especially black New Yorkers, you see somebody black being brutally beaten and brutally attacked, and you don't do anything? So what's up? The boy, who has not been identified, was left with a cut on his lip and bruises on his body. He was taken to the hospital in stable condition, according to the police. We've been fighting for years and years, and it's getting out of hand now. After the video of the attack was shared online, community members gathered on Tuesday outside the subway station for a rally against bullying and racism. This has nothing to do with bullying. This is all about racism. Rosemary Severino, a community activist in the area, called the attack unacceptable and noted how it has caused a lot of pain while speaking to the crowd. Attendees of the rally said the victim is autistic and part of a group of kids known as the transit kids, or young people with developmental disabilities who love to ride the train. So he's a part of this group of other children with developmental disabilities who love to ride the train. And they call them transit kids. It remained unclear what led to the attack, but Eduardo Medellin, who calls himself a transit kid, previously told Fox 5 New York that this was not the first time an incident like this has occurred. We've been fighting for years and years. It's getting out of hand now, Medellin said at the rally. We feel like we need your help. We need someone to help us. So evidently this is not the first kid. Evidently, this is something ongoing issue, an ongoing situation. Well, they need to fix this. They need to handle this. They need to go head on and get them other two and arrest them. All this we're not settling for. They can't be found. We're not settling for. We're having a hard time finding them. We're not settling for that. Go ahead, find them, arrest them, and hate crime charges. We demand hate crime charges. If anybody was using a racial slur while this whole attack was going on, then we need some hate crime charges. So I just wanted to bring y'all an update on that. But what I came here for is because of this what's going on as far as the San Francisco reparations plan, and as far as the NAACP is concerned and all of that. That's what I came here for, right? As you can see by the title of this live, which will of course become a video, is, we need to talk about this. I did a video on this last night on the San Francisco reparations plan. I did a video on it last night, but I didn't upload the video, and I'm glad I didn't, because now more information has come out. Okay. So first, we want to go and we want to deal with what the NAACP had to say, okay? We want to deal with what the NAACP, the San Francisco branch of the NAACP, had to say about this reparations plan, where they're talking about giving each eligible black citizen $5 million in reparations. Okay, so first we need to we need to deal with that. So let's deal with that. On your screen, you should see the statement from the San Francisco branch of the NAACP. March 14, 2023, contact Reverend Amos Brown. And a lot of people, Marcel Dixon, a lot of other people have gotten in contact with him, have talked to him. And there are actually people who are saying, Marcel and others are saying, that he's saying what he had to say is totally different from what we see right here. So like one person on Twitter said, somebody lying. Okay, but let's see what this says. San Francisco NAACP rejects $5 million reparation payments to blacks. To blacks. Remember that. To blacks. Calls for reparations to focus on investment and opportunities in 5 key areas at Board of Supervisors meeting on reparations today. The San Francisco NAACP today called upon the Board of Supervisors to reject a one-time $5 million reparations payment to blacks, but instead called upon the city to make investments in 5 key areas to atone for a history of racism, discrimination, and mistreatment. The Reverend Amos Brown today said that the Board of Supervisors, which is holding a hearing today at 3 p.m. on the city's reparation plan and Dream Keeper initiative, should redirect its focus on providing 5 key elements as part of reparations: education, jobs, housing, healthcare, and a cultural center for blacks in San Francisco. So basically, don't give you no money. You understand what I'm saying? No cash payouts. But concentrate on giving you education, jobs, housing, healthcare, and a cultural center. Okay? We strongly believe that creating and funding programs that can improve the lives of those who have been impacted by racism and discrimination is the best path forward toward equity and justice, Brown said. And these are the 5 things that he called for the city to do. Invest in education, economic empowerment with President Biden's infrastructure bill, housing, health care, and the Fillmore Heritage Center, right? So these are the 5 things that he suggests that the city invest in as a form of reparations. Okay? Now, everybody is in an uproar all over Twitter. Everybody's in an uproar. Everybody is mad at the NAACP. Everybody hollering, cancel the NAACP and all of that. My issue with this is this. This is my issue with it. My issue is this. How long have we known, as Foundation of Black Americans, how long have we known that the NAACP does absolutely nothing substantial for the black community, for the Foundation of Black American community in the United States? How long have we known this? How long have we been calling out the NAACP? How long have we been calling out the NAACP along with the Congressional Black Caucus, whatever you want to call them? How long have we been calling them out and making it clear that they do absolutely nothing for the black community? How long have we been doing that? We've been doing that for years now. We've been calling out the NAACP. Why this is a surprise to anybody, especially foundational Black Americans, why this is a surprise is beyond me. You have to understand, this is the same NAACP that just gave an image award to D. Wade and Gabby for trying to turn a little boy into a little girl. So if we were going to cancel them, we should have canceled them then. That should have been the last straw as far as the NAACP is concerned. This is what the NAACP was founded and created to do. To undermine black empowerment. NAACP has never been about black empowerment. So instead of us focusing all of our attention and all of our time and all of our angst and all of that on the NAACP, who are simply doing what they do, it's time for us to talk about this San Francisco Reparations Committee or whatever. It's time for us to talk about them. You understand what I'm saying? Because when I read to you what I'm about to read to you, you will realize that maybe, just maybe, what the NAACP said about this is a blessing in disguise for us foundational Black Americans. Because I'll tell anybody, we got too many reparations committees and reparations task force and all of this popping up everywhere. And a lot of these people are being sent to muddy the water, you understand, and to open up the door for other groups to be able to come in and step into our reparations claim. So calm down, settle down. The NAACP is just doing what they do. This is what they do. This is what they have been doing. For years, this is what the NAACP has been doing as far as undermining black people, as far as white folks using the NAACP to keep us in line and to keep the status quo exactly where it is. Like I said, if we didn't cancel them, when they gave them two people an image award for trying to change a little black boy into a little black girl, then why are we all up in arms about this? If we weren't up in arms about that, then we need to calm down about this. And take a much, much closer look at this San Francisco reparations committee or whatever they calling themselves. We getting ready to find out because we getting ready to get deeper into it. Okay? Now, this is how we're going to get deeper into it. Hold on a minute. And take them. Hold on. All right, y'all. What I have before you and what you're seeing now is a draft of the San Francisco reparations plan. Right? This is what you see now. And as you can see down here, it's brought to you by San Francisco Human Rights Commission. San Francisco Reparations. All right? And they are calling themselves, this is what they call themselves. This committee, this task force, this commission, whatever you want to call them. This is what they are calling themselves. They are calling themselves the San Francisco African American Reparations Advisory Committee. That's what they call themselves. They prepared this on December 20th, 2022. Subject draft San Francisco reparations plan. Okay? Now, I'm not going to read all of this. But it'll be linked down in the description box so y'all can read it. I'm not finna read all of this. These are the contents. 1. Legacy of civic disenfranchisement in San Francisco. AARAC, an overview. Lessons from other reparations frameworks. A history of broken promises. Lasting institutional harms in San Francisco. Recommendation of reparations recommendations. Lord have mercy, y'all. Forgive me. 05. Reparations recommendations. 06. Reparations objectives and actions. 07. Where we go from here. Right? And it gives you a summary. And all of these different sections. It gives you a full list of the committee members. On page 7, it gives you a full list of committee members. And let me go ahead and put this link in the chat for y'all. Hold on. Hold on. Let me put this link in the chat for y'all. In the chat for y'all. Hold on. Okay, that's the link right there in the chat. All right, so let's get back into this. Committee leadership, they got that in there. A list of past meetings, they got that in there. But that's not what is important. Short history, down here on at the end of page 11, it says short history of past successful reparations movements. But what I want to concentrate on Where is it? Where did it go? Hold on. Let me find it. Hold on, y'all. It's the requirements. That's what we're going to concentrate on right now. We're going to concentrate on these requirements. Here we go. This right here is page 30. It says eligibility for reparations. So these are the requirements. These are the things that make you eligible for requirements under the South Carolina, I'm talking about South Carolina, under the San Francisco reparations program. This is what this is what the requirements are, okay? Checklist for eligibility. Required, an individual who has identified as Black or African American on public documents for at least 10 years, right? And you have to be 18 years or older. Black or African American for the last 10 years, for at least 10 years, and you have to be at least 18 years or older, right? Then it says you must meet at least 2 of the criteria on the following list, and you must have supporting documentation, right? Born in South Carolina, Lord, I don't know why South Carolina is on my mind. Born in San Francisco between 1940 and 1966, and have proof of residency in San Francisco for at least 13 years, right? Migrated to San Francisco between 1940 and 1996 and have proof of residency in San Francisco for at least 13 years. Personally or the direct descendant of someone incarcerated by the failed war on drugs. Record of attendance in San Francisco public schools during the time of the consent decree to complete desegregation within the school system. Descendant of someone enslaved through U.S. chattel slavery before 1865. So see, that's only one of the requirements. It's optional. You don't have to choose that requirement. It's optional. Displaced or the direct descendant of someone displaced from San Francisco by urban renewal between 1954 and 1973. Listed or the direct descendant of a certificate of preference holder. Now listen to this one. Listen to the last one. And the last one is the one that's going to get you. Member of an historically marginalized group that experienced lending discrimination in San Francisco between 1937 and 1968, or subsequently experienced lending discrimination in formerly redlined San Francisco communities between 1968 and 2000. Member of a historically marginalized group. These are the requirements, people. These are the requirements of the San Francisco reparations plan. So while everybody is out, you understand what I'm saying, all in a rage about what's going on with the NAACP and what the NAACP said, like we should be surprised by anything that the NAACP does as far as undermining black empowerment. This is what you need to be paying attention to. You need to be paying attention to this. You need to be paying attention to these requirements. And you need to be paying attention to how broad and how wide open this wording is. And it's race-based. An individual who has identified as Black/African American. It's race-based reparations. And we already know that race-based reparations will not stand anywhere, and certainly not in the United States of America. Lineage is not mentioned here anywhere, except for as one of the possible options. Descendant of someone enslaved through U.S. chattel slavery before 1865. That's one of the options. So this is race-based reparations. You have to be Black, or you have to have identified as being Black or African American for at least 10 years. But it's not based on your lineage. So this opens the door for every other group of people. One way or the other, this opens the door for other people. Why? Because it's not lineage based, and because it's not specific to the descendants of American chattel slaves. So while we all upset and we having hissy fits and all this about what the NAACP said, you understand what I'm saying? This little thing here that the NAACP wrote out, while we having hissy fits about this, this is the stuff that's really going on in the San Francisco reparations plan. All of these different options. Now, if you migrated to San Francisco between 1940 and 1996, and you have proof that you have been a resident for at least 13 years, you were born in San Francisco between 1940 and 1996, and you have proof of your residency in San Francisco for at least 13 years. You 26, 27 years old or whatever, or 30, 40, 30, 31, 32 years old or whatever, and you have identified as being Black. You don't have to be a foundational Black American. You don't have to be a descendant of American chattel slaves, and you still get reparations. Now, let's see what this certificate of preference holder is. Let's see what that is. Because it's in here somewhere. Hold on, let me see. Here it is, right here. An original certificate of preference issued by San Francisco Redevelopment Agency, Executive Director Justin Herman to a Bayview Hunters Point resident in 1972. The exponential growth of the African American population in San Francisco during the wartime era proved influential in establishing the city's arts and cultural national profile. African American musicians and artists were increasingly attracted to and visiting the Harlem of the West, a vibrant corridor in San Francisco's Fillmore district that became a gateway for Black jazz musicians thanks to the concentration of Black-owned and Black-serving venues and hotels. See, all we're talking about is Black, race-based. They knew better. They knew better. When they wrote this out, they knew better. They knew reparations could not be race-based. The Fillmore Corridor was a vibrant destination for the city's black population, with restaurants, theaters, hotels, and other businesses that catered to a black clientele when other businesses I don't know why South Carolina is on my mind. In San Francisco, providing identical services refused entry to African American people. Business leader Charles Sullivan was foundational in establishing the Fillmore as the cultural epicenter of San Francisco and the region. Additionally, community building was happening in Bayview Hunters Point, where there had been rapid housing construction and growing ownership for African Americans. So this certificate of preference says, pursuant to San Francisco Redevelopment Agency Resolution numbers 242-3-68 and the Bayview Hunters Point Joint Housing Committee Resolution adopted on December the 20th, 1968. This certifies that, and it's got somebody's name on it, residing at, and it's got his address, has a priority for new housing or rehabilitated housing in the Hunters Point redevelopment project. The number of persons in household are 3. This certificate is only valid for residents of the approved project area and may not be transferred. And it says you have to have received this. It doesn't say when. It just said listed or the direct descendant of a certificate of preference holder. So again, it ain't narrowed down nothing. It ain't making anything lineage based. It's making it all race based. And everybody already knows that race-based reparations won't hold in the United States. It won't pass the litmus test in the United States. So why is their whole plan race-based and not specific to FBA or descendants of American chattel slaves? And remember, the only two that are a requirement are the first two. An individual who has identified as black or African American on public documents for at least 10 years. And you have to be 18 years or older. I mean, that opens up the door to so many people who are non-FBA. Just that alone opens up the door. And then the rest of the criteria, you only have to meet 2. And like I said, I put it down in the description. But I put it in the chat, and it'll also be in a link to this will also be in the description box, and you can read this whole thing. But the criteria alone muddies the water, messes up our whole reparations claim. Because it opens the door for non-FBA, non-foundational black Americans, members of that lineage of people that come down directly from American chattel slaves. It throws that whole thing off. So while we're running around mad at the NAACP, and acting like we surprised and we shocked because the NAACP did exactly what the NAACP was created to do, this is what we need to be paying attention to. We need to be vetting these people. These people that come in and all of a sudden everybody wants to be a part of the reparations movement. All of a sudden everybody wants to form a little commission or a little committee or whatever as far as reparations is concerned. In all of these different cities and states and all of that. No, and these folks are not being vetted. we're not paying attention to the language in their reparations plans. That's what we were taught. That's what our thought leaders from the new black media and beyond have taught us. You got to pay attention to the words. You got to pay attention to what these folks are saying. And you got to make sure that it's in line with what reparations is really all about. And specifically who reparations is supposed to be for in the United States of America. But we're not paying attention. We're not reading these bills. We're not reading these proposals and these plans and all of that. That's the reason why we don't know. So as soon as we see everybody just got all gung-ho and everything because they saw the $5 million number. But nobody took the time to really read and find out, okay, who are these people? What are these people really talking about? What does their reparations plan really say? And what are the requirements? Because at the end of the day, that's all that matters. What are the requirements? Is it lineage-based? Is it race-based? Is it for foundational black Americans? Is it a doorway and an open door for other groups? That's the kind of stuff we got to find out. So are these folks, this San Francisco African American Reparations Advisory Committee? You understand what I'm saying? And look at the colors that they're using. Look at the colors all around their banner. The red, black, and green. Come on, we got to wake up. This is exactly what Tariq, Jason, Professor Black Truth, and others have been telling us. We got to pay attention. It's not up to them all the time to see what's going on. We got to pay attention. That's what the new black media is all about. It's all about educating our people so that we can get to the bottom line. So we can wade through and we can find our way through all the bullshit and all the word salad and get down to what these people are really saying. So is this advisory committee really about reparations, or are they about sabotage, muddying the water, and maybe opening the door for other people outside of foundational black Americans to get into our reparations claim? Hold on a minute, you guys. I gotta go check something. I heard something. Hold on. All right, y'all, here I come. I'm in the house by myself. I had to go check something. But this is the kind of stuff that we got to pay attention to. You understand what I'm saying? We've got to stop putting all the pressure on the three the hard way. And we've got to do some of the work ourselves. We've got to do some of the lead work ourselves. Like I said, that's the reason why I did a video on this last night. I did a video on this last night because when I was reading the articles and I was reading the requirements, I was like, whoa, wait a minute, hold up. This is not specific enough. This is race-based. This is not lineage-based. So that's the reason why we're going to have to do some vetting. We're going to have to, all these people popping up everywhere talking about they want to start a reparations committee or they want to start a reparations task force. And all we got to figure out, okay, wait a minute, hold up, wait a minute. Who are you? What's your plan? What's your real agenda? What's your requirements? Because if it's not lineage based, right off the bat, it's not going to fly. And like I said, look at the banner. The picture's right there in front of you. Look at the banner. San Francisco African American Reparations Advisory Committee. Come on. So maybe, just maybe, the NAACP raising their head, although I despise the NAACP, but maybe, just maybe, what they said was a blessing in disguise, because it'll make us step back and take a real look at these people's reparations plan and their requirements to be eligible. Let's go over here. Let's go to my Twitter. Okay, we on my Twitter. Hold on. Okay, right here. We got, if y'all can see it, we got this Kenzo dude, right? Who said, I spoke to Reverend Amos Brown this morning, and he is saying the opposite of what this post is. Somebody lying, okay? All right, hold on, y'all. I got some stuff I want to show you. Now, this was a post that Tariq did March 14th. Okay, let me see if I can find what I said on here. There I go, right there. Y'all see me right there. There I go, right there. And this is what I said. This was March 14th, 2023 at 11:32 p.m. This was last night. All this talk of race is going to mess this thing up. Reparations should always be lineage based. Y'all get too excited when something sounds good, but we have been taught to pay a close attention to the words being used. Too much black this, black that. That was me yesterday. And this is what I posted before I did my video. I just didn't upload the video. Let me see if I can find another one where I was on these posts going off, letting folks know, oh, okay, let's look at my notifications. Okay, this is me and my brother JoJo. After he posted what the NAACP has said, this is what I said. But are we really surprised? These are the same folks who just gave an image award to two demonic puppets for turning a little boy into a little girl, or at least trying to. Do we really want that kind of support? Now, this is my next comment. He said, nope, not at all. NAACP is founded by people of color and not black people. So, yeah, we have to push back publicly. I say we've been pushing back and calling them out. This is what stuck black folk need to see. It's time to drop the so-called black organizations and keep it moving. Plus, have you checked the requirements of that Cisco rep, meaning the San Francisco Reparations Plan? What I read doesn't mention FBA, and it is not lineage based. He said, yeah, of course, I read it. And yes, it jumps all over the place. How about you do this? Post to your page and highlight it for the people. We all have a part to pay, so go ahead and wake it up, my sister. Then I told him, it's too late. Tariq beat me to it, but I did a vid on it last night. And that's when Tariq came out with the post talking about the requirements. And he said the eligibility requirements for the San Francisco reparations proposal must be amended so that lineage-based is mandatory. It currently makes lineage optional and focuses on race-based eligibility. This is problematic. Of course it is. So everybody want to get all out of sorts because the NAACP is doing what we know the NAACP been doing for years. They've been undermining real black progress for years. Like I said, if we didn't cancel them when they did that whole jump with giving Wade and Gabby an image award for trying to turn a little boy into a little girl, if we didn't cancel them then, ain't no point in us canceling them now. The NAACP, NARC, NCOBRA, Al Sharpton's NAN, National Something Network, them folks been undermining real black progress for decades. But instead of concentrating on them, we need to be concentrating on this. We need to be concentrating on all of these little folks that just are coming out of nowhere, popping up with all these reparation plans in all these different cities and all of that. And we're not vetting them. We're not paying attention to what they're saying. We're not paying attention to their reparations plans. We're not paying attention to their requirements. You're not going to tell me these people didn't know better. You're not going to tell me that these people didn't know that race-based reparations ain't going to fly. That it has to be lineage-based. So this is the reason why I jumped on this live. I jumped on this live just to tell y'all this. Just to have this conversation. And have this conversation about reparations. And have this conversation about what's really going on. There are not too many black people who are really awake and really know what's really going on and all that. They're fooled with the NAACP anyway. Because they've been seeing what the NAACP was really all about. But this is what we need to be focused on. We need to be focused on what's really going on in these reparations plans. And what the requirements are. And whether or not these folks are serious about lineage-based reparations instead of race-based reparations. So I'm going to cut it off there because, I just wanted to bring you this information. I just wanted to let y'all know what was really going on. I just wanted to show y'all this. Like I said, it's already listed in the chat room, but it will be also listed in the description box. And as along with that article about them arresting one of those kids in New York, as far as the brutal beating of that black autistic child. And everybody is wondering where Eric Adams is, because we notice he hasn't made any kind of statement. He hasn't said anything, no nothing. And that's because he's too busy dealing with the immigrants. He too busy dealing with the illegal migrants and making sure that they comfortable and they safe and they have everything that they need. That's the reason why he ain't got a time to talk about what happened to this little black boy, because some of his friends actually are the criminals in this situation. But like I said, the article will be listed down in the description box, as well as this actual plan, the actual draft of the San Francisco reparations plan, and you can read the eligibility requirements for yourself. It will also be listed in the description box, just like it is in the comment section. I mean, in the chat. I'm sorry, y'all. But that's what I wanted to bring y'all today. Y'all make sure that you stay safe, that you be smart, that you stay on code, you keep your power tools at the ready, keep your head on the swivel, and pay attention to these things, because these things are of the utmost importance. To just take the time to read through these actual plans instead of just joining the bandwagon because somebody says that they for reparations.